Very good evening to all of you. We welcome you to the Life Histories webinar series. Today, the topic is transactional analysis for self-awareness. Before starting the session, I would introduce Life History. Life History is all about promoting the skills because we believe the skills make our life easy. So life is a series of transactions, and each transaction defines what our next step is in the life. So how transactional analysis helps us in self-awareness. Let us hear that from Mr. Sebastian Anthony. Sir, we welcome you to webinar. I would like to introduce Mr. Sebastian Anthony. Mr. Sebastian is a retired from Federal Bank Limited as a chief manager, and he served as branch manager, zone HR head, and HR development head of the bank's faculty, training college, etc. And he is author of 3 self-help books, and also is master trainer conducting train the trainer programs apart from other trainings. He's also a motivational speaker. He's associated with many organizations, including banks, companies, and educational institutions for imparting training. He's an accredited transactional analyst by International Transactional Analysis Association, USA, and ICTA with organizational application specialty. He is conducting trainers training in transactional analysis and counseling. He's a bachelor of his education is his bachelor of law, his bachelor of science, and he has a certified associate of Indian Institute of Bankers. He has postgraduate diploma in personal management, certified transactional analysis, his master transactional analysis,
Hello.
and he has a professional membership in he is member of Indian Institute of Personal Management, member of International Transactional Analysts Association, member of South Asian Association of Transactional Analysts, president ICTA. And he has written 3 books, the 3 self-help books. Those are Thalai Iruthu. So it is Shape Your Destiny, the transaction, and Oru Vaikarika Punarjananam in Malayalam. It's about, the theme is emotional intelligence. Sir, I would request you to start the webinar. And if anyone have any questions, you may post in the chat box. And I would request you all to mute your mics, please. Thank you. Sir, please go ahead.
So, good evening. And I know some of you are known to me and familiar to transaction analysis concept also. Some of you may not be familiar. So, being a mixed batch, I don't know how do I proceed with.
Hello.
So, to begin with, the question is transaction analysis, what it is. The simplest definition for transaction analysis is a branch of psychology. So, branch of psychology originated during 1960s by a Canadian-born American, Dr. Eric Berne. During 1960s, transaction analysis were quite popular in America. And what is special about transaction analysis is It's called layman psychology. By the person who introduced this branch, he himself calls it layman psychology. Those who have not studied or do not have any background of psychology, he wanted to make them familiar to psychology or to know who he is, know about our own mind. According to Burns' concept, each individual should know about his mind. It's not that we go to a doctor and ask about us, and the doctor explain to you that you are a paranoid. So that sort of introduction Dr. Byrne was not happy about. So he thought a simple way to introduce human mind. And what is the advantage? Human mind, if it is known to the person himself, it's quite possible many of the unwanted behavior style he will leave. Lot of change will come to the person if he knows himself. So one of the theme of transactional analysis was to introduce or tell the person who he is or why he is behaving the way he is doing now. And Dr. Byrne was basically a neurologist. So according to him, the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that evolved later in the evolutionary process, has the capacity to reason and change negative behaviors by itself. Even without anybody's help, each one of us is competent to make corrections by ourselves. The only requirement is that information. My mind should know why do I behave the way I do. If my behavior is not conducive to that situation, I will change. So the first thrust Dr. Byrne gave to transaction analysis is to explain our own personality. Personality does not remain enclosed in the look alone. According to Byrne, the most important area of personality is behavior. So he started his book first with explaining about behaviors and human mind. According to him, mind is thoughts and feelings. And the thoughts and feelings manifest outside us behavior. So according to him, state of mind or human mind is thoughts and feelings that manifest into a particular type of behavior. So according to his philosophy, if you know about it, why do you behave the way you do now? It's quite possible that you may change. If the same thing is applicable to a couple, married couple, if they know themselves and if they know why do they behave the way they do now, many of the issues in married life can be settled. That same principle is applicable in an organization. When the boss and subordinate is aware, why do they behave the way they do now? It's quite possible a lot of change can take place. There is nothing new about the theory as such, because this is one of the oldest theory. Oldest theory in the sense Socrates and Plato was teaching this principle to the Greek, saying, know thyself. Know thyself means know about yourself. The more and more you know about yourself, there is every possibility that changes will take place in you. Positive changes will come in you. Now we are remaining in with what we are is, as per the Freudian theory, it's a repetition compulsion of certain behaviors we learned in early childhood. And those behaviors we are simply continuing without awareness. So according to Byrne, the more and more self-awareness, awareness about oneself will help him to reason out why do I behave the way I do now, and that will result in a lot of changes. So one of the thrust area of transaction analysis is to make the person aware of himself. So what we do in transaction analysis, we start with a questionnaire, a psychometric tool that will explain the present behavioral pattern. From that behavioral pattern, if it is not helpful for your present life, it's possible to change also. Because human mind comprises of three types of recordings that has taken place in early childhood. And according to Byrne, human personality is actually three in one. Three in one means there are three separate set of mind. Or mind can be divided into three states. He called it parent, adult, and child, based on the pattern of recording. One pattern is experiential learning. That part of the brain, the lower part of the brain, record experiences for future use. Like any other animal, we also record our early childhood experiences and we repeat it without awareness, whether it is good or bad. Those experiences are continuing. The second part of the brain focusing on observation. As the child grows into 18 months, 2 year or 3 year period, the child observes how do the father behave, how do the mother behave, and based on that behavioral pattern, they observe and learn patterns. These patterns are taken from people around. That is also recorded at the cortex level of the brain. Then the evolutionary advantage of human being, the latest brain called the prefrontal cortex, where thinking is the main activity or the process by which the brain functions. Lower part was basically on affect or feelings. Upper brain functions on thinking. So that part, once develops in a child, the child starts reasoning. Around the age of 6, the child starts reasoning out why this is so, why it cannot be the other way around. That reasoning results into a new type of learning. And according to Byrne, that is the adult, that matured mind of the person. All these three types of learnings remain with every human being all throughout his life. That was the first part which he explained as structure and function of human mind. Basically contains two types of process called affect and thinking. And it is functioned as experiences and logical thinking. Logical thinking is capable of changing behaviors which we acquired in early childhood. So that is the first thrust area by which Byrne says your personality can be changed. Even the personality, the look of the face can be changed simply by the application of the theory. Because based on our emotionality and our ego states or the state of mind, facial muscles get set. Each person, the facial muscle is the outcome of his own ego states. If he can change that, his personality also changes, which means learning this theory can introduce in a lot of personal changes. So that is one of the thrust areas in transaction analysis. The second area is once you know about your own mind, you get the idea that why do the other people behave the way they are doing. When I learned transaction analysis, one of my learning was that why do my wife behave the way she is doing now? Why do my children behave the way they are doing now? Which means there is a lot of opportunity for me to adjust my behaviors, even without telling them why do you behave the way you do. Let them behave whatever way they want, but realizing that, understanding that helps me to create good relationship, warm relationship in my house. The same thing was applicable to my organization where I work. I worked in Federal Bank as he was introducing me. Actually, my boss, the HR head, sent me to learn transaction analysis because he believed in transaction analysis and his ability to change people. So two of us working in the department was sent to study transaction analysis. And when he came back after achieving the qualification, he posted us to training department. And we started taking managers batch by batch and told them how this can be applied to improve relationship inside the branch, improve relationship with the customers. So the net result is that business will increase. So the second thrust area is to know other human beings, why they are behaving the way they are doing now, and on that basis, better human relationships. So the same theory, if it is taught to youngsters who are getting married, It's possible for them to lead a more useful life. Instead of fighting each other, they will understand why that person is behaving that way. So knowing human being by understanding their personality, that is the second part of the transaction analysis. The third thrust area is to make the person aware that if you are a failure in your life, it's because you need to have certain changes. So according to Bond, he makes the first sentence which says, every child is born as a prince or princess, but parents turn them into frogs, which means success or winning is our birthright. That is the way God has created us. But our atmosphere, surroundings, which might have given us some negative lessons, and that results in failure in human life. A failure in business, failure in profession, failure in relationship. A lot of emotional issues are being suffered by some people only because they do not know why they behave the way they do. Why that emotionality has developed in that way, and whether they can change it or not. And without knowing it, nothing can be done. So transaction analysis is one of the simplest theory to explain human mind. And that is why Dr. Byrne called it layman psychology. So once you know about it, it gives you a lot of advantage to understand people around you, which will improve upon the relationship with the people and also to make an assessment why you are a failure in your life and why and how you contribute to your own failures in life. So once we realize that our own role in making a failure in life, it means we can change. So transaction analysis is a theory of change, and it is possible by understanding human self. Self means that is the basic of human being. That is also acquired by every individual by the time you reach about 1.5 years old. There is an international game played by the mothers. They make these babies sit in their lap and they do an exercise. The mummy asks the baby, "This is your?" Then the mummy replies, "No, this is your." She goes on explaining, holding each part of her face. And what is she doing? Without knowing what is she doing, she is communicating to the child, you are separate, I am separate. Because the child was for 9 months inside, so mother's body and his body is one and the same. So if proper separation is not taught to the child will not have a self. So that is the first exercise by which the mother tells the child, you are separate, I am separate. From those days, the child starts thinking, why am I like this? Why my brother is like this? Then a lot of questions are being asked to the mother to make the self complete. In that process, whether mother is competent to give me proper answers for that. From there, the issue of my self formation starts. If I become a confident man in my life, its credit goes to my mother. If I become a fearful person in my life, again that credit goes to my mother. Because the formation of my personality is mostly associated with mother. Otherwise, nothing is possible. So when the mother's words are accepted the child, because that is the biggest relationship on earth. The moment you take birth, you look at the mother. And mother's muscular movements, the child copies. That is the way you learn how to smile. That is the way you learn how to cry. All these things are learned from the mother. So there is a caretaker behind us, and she gives you the basic lessons of the formation of self. But she need not be an expert in that process. Every mother need not be an expert in formulating the child into a winner. What she communicates is her way of understanding, her way of knowing. Just like in computer language, we call every computer works only if you feed the operating system into that. Otherwise, computer is useless. The operating system says the computer how to work on. Then you get the result. And that is why the Microsoft went on making Windows 95, 97, 98, 2000, XP. Each time they are introducing better versions of the operating system. And computer remains the same. When you change the operating system, the computer works better. The same thing is applicable in transaction analysis. Transaction analysis basically is a theory of an operating system. An operating system, if you feed into the human mind, that mind will work accordingly. So our parents may or may not be competent in the process of child rearing. A lot of issues can develop in the formation of the self. And that's why Socrates started from that 2000 years before. Know thyself, know yourself. That is the biggest learning on earth. That is what he was teaching. The more and more you know about it, even your intelligence will start functioning. Because now neuroscience support that theory because it is resting on the prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex take care of the lower part, which is the emotional brain. When prefrontal cortex can take care of the emotional brain, the intelligence works to the maximum. That theory is called emotional intelligence. If intelligence has to be gone up to the level, the genetical capacity, the person should have a peaceful mind. A peaceful mind means emotional mind should be appropriately happy. But whether the parents are competent for that, whether the caretakers are competent for that, so it may result in formation of a self which needs change. So most of us need change because our caretakers were not perfect in their field of operation. So naturally, transaction analysis can help each and everyone in the process of change, how to become a better person. The best method is first to know about yourself. What type of a person are you? Why do you behave the way you do now? Why do always husband and wife talking together in good terms, ending the process in a fighting? Many times in many families, it's a common scene. They talk in very good manner after the dinner, especially they talk about the children, their studies, the finances of the family, etc., and end up fighting. Most of the families, an international game being played by the husband and wife. What for? According to this theory, to avoid sexual relationships. It goes on a continuous process. What is behind it? Again, we will come back to the formation of the self. The self is one of the most important area where each person has to focus on. And it started many thousands of years ago, but we never had an excellent theory to apply for that. So phrenology developed in the beginning, depending upon the suitors, the joining points of the uh, skull. They started explaining about human beings. Then somebody looked at the size of the people and said, "But bulky people are like this, thin people are like that." Lots of such assumptions were made to explain the self phenomenon because we were not having a solid theory behind. In 1975, science came with the discovery of MRI system, MRI scan system. Once MRI scan developed, now we know what's happening inside. So all functioning of the brain is now aware. Now we can easily say this is what Dr. Byrne intended by saying this. So self is actually the formation of our early meaning. That is the mind. Mind and body are making one person complete. That is the first book by Antonio Damasio, Descartes' Error, in which he said, mind and body are working together. Mind can influence the body, body can influence the mind. That's why now medical science says most of the sicknesses are psychosomatic. Most of the sicknesses are because the influence of your mind on your body. So if you can regulate or control your mind, even many of the sickness can be avoided. Dr. Pai of Alapi Medical College, Supran was saying during his retirement send off, 95% of human sicknesses are psychosomatic because of the involvement of your mind, because you do not know about your mind. Why do I behave like this? I do not know. Nobody told me what is happening. No educational system says this is because of this. So I went on with my early childhood learnings about me. There are a lot of erroneous data came into me. Every computer performance depends upon the quality of the data. Garbage in, garbage out. That is the principle of computer. The same thing happens about human computer also. Garbage in, garbage out. So sometimes in early childhood, the learning include a lot of garbage inside. So it can be corrected. And one such corrective theory is called transaction analysis. That's why I link transaction analysis with self. Self is the basis for everything. The moment you are able to make quality corrections in the self, your relationships will change. Your way of looking at people around you will change. In Christianity, we talk about Jesus like saying that excuse them because they do not know what they are doing. That same thing is applicable for each and every one. We do not know what we are doing because we do not know how our mind works. So this gives an opportunity. This gives an opportunity to look into our own mind and explain this is what is happening to me. And God has given the corrective mechanism called the prefrontal cortex. That brain is capable of applying this into our own life. So I'll come to know why do I behave this way. So change is possible. Positive changes are possible. Simple theory, which says human mind is 3 in 1. That is the starting with transaction analysis. Human mind is 3 in 1 means based on your learning system, you have 3 types of functioning mind. One is based on your experiences. So you have a tendency to keep your early childhood experiences with you until you die. Similarly, you have the way of learning from the other sort of human beings. You take copies of those people and you apply that copy to your life also. The third methodology, very seldom we make use of, by self-analysis I learn. So I think about it, why I'm doing this, but that man is not doing it, why it is happening. That self-evaluation comes from prefrontal cortex. It's actually not necessary to live in this world, but if you want to become successful, if you want to become one relation person, then you have to evaluate why do you behave the way you do. And for that, you need data. That data is being given by transaction analysis. This is the way your mind works. If you want, you can change. And the mind means, in some common language, we call it self. So every individual talks about the self. So what is the content of that? That nobody is thinking about it. Because it's not necessary for us to know. We all live. But only psychologists learn about it and tell us this is what you are. Instead of that, what Bird says, you know about yourself. You learn about yourself. Then make changes. And if you want to become a therapist, you can apply this in your therapy work also. So this theory was introduced for those who are in the field of helping others in the mind formation or counseling or psychotherapy. Theory was developed like that. But most of its application is to know about yourself and change, which means you can become successful in your life, whether in relationship or in your performance in the areas or profession, business, etc. Wherever you are, you can become successful by analyzing your own mind. And how that analysis has to take place, that is what transaction analysis gives us. I hope you are following me. One person can unmute and tell me, is my language is okay with you?
Okay, sir. It is okay.
Okay, so we'll go about. So the introductory part about transaction analysis is started by Dr. Ringborn, and this theory was brought to India by a Jesuit priest. He went to United States for studying theology, but he studied psychology and came back. In Cochin, he started a center. That is the development of transaction analysis history in India. Then people like us went there, met with him, we studied there, we got certified, and we started teaching. And the second and third generation started now from ICTA, Institute for Counseling and Transaction Analysis. That is the place where I also started this. So the first I said, the most important part which I like in the theory is that it gives you a ready answer for who am I? Who am I? So focus is towards you. Who am I means why do I behave the way I do now? What are the reasons behind it? So Dr. Byrne made it as a structure and function, contents of your mind. First explanation is about the contents. And based on the contents, you have a behavioral system. And from that, he interpreted human beings have 5 dominant behaviors. Those 3 types of recordings are there. Those three recordings are shown outside as behaviors in 5 dominant ways. And once a person is able to understand the dominant ways of his behavior style, it's quite possible if he want, he can change. So the second part is that functional analysis of it. So that is the meaning of the self. Based on the contents, I will develop certain behavioral patterns. And how do I know about that? To give emphasis on that, Dr. Bird started his theory saying what is human behavior. So the first part of the theory emphasizes human behavior. According to Bird, depending upon your behavioral style, which he called ego states. Ego state means state of mind. You have developed certain behaviors. That behaviors include language, which means a person uses 5 types of language. Then the language is getting meaning based on the tonality, tone of voice. So Dr. Burns says every human being has 5 types of tone of voice. As individual, I am not aware of my tonality, but my tone is recognized by my people around. Similarly, the tone of other people is influencing me, but we are not aware of it. The third important aspect, according to Byrne, is facial expressions. Facial expressions are one way of communicating what is there in the mind. Now there is experts, new theories are coming out. Dr. Paul Ekman, a team of doctors from Europe settling in Dalai Lama's ashram, they are going on studying about human face. How do facial muscles move around when the lamas meditate? When lamas meditate, changes are taking place on the muscles because based on your thinking pattern, facial muscle movements are taking place. And if you continue certain types of thinking pattern, your facial muscles get set. That is why anger dominant people, from the first look, you will identify. Looking at their face, you can see. Say that he is an anger dominant person. Similarly, sad people, their facial muscles are set like that. The moment you look at the face, you will come to know that person will cry now. So these facial muscles are reflecting the thought process, which means according to 5 types of human behavior, facial muscles show 5 types, but the person is not aware. The person will never understand what's happening on his face. The fourth one is gestures. The way you show your hands and legs movements. Then the last one, the posture, based on how your backbone is acting. When you are anger dominant person, your backbone becomes straight. When you are sad, your backbone gets a curve. When you are fearful, it becomes more curved. So all these things are communicating. So according to Burnian theory, he gave emphasis on the first book, first part itself. He has explained what is his mind and how do mind reflect in behavior. So the moment you study that, each person with whom you are interacting, you will come to know much more than what they are saying. The language, you can cheat people with language, but your facial expression you cannot hide. Your tonality you cannot hide. And you do not know when you are emotional, what type of language you are using. You will only think about the meaning afterward. After all, what did I say? That is the way we think about. So the self means, me means I need to know many things. This is the way I explain to people. My facial expressions are communicating a lot of things I do not know. But the moment I look at the mirror, I do not make an assessment about myself. Many times, for only for makeup, I go and see the mirror. Now, if you start looking at the mirror and if you make an assessment, what type of a person are you? Then you will realize that is being reflected to others. So, the more and more you know about yourself, your relationships will change. That is the influence of transaction analysis in human relations because you have to know about yourself. So if you are a sadness dominant person, it's quite possible your facial muscles, especially the muscles around the mouth and the eyes, will change. and that will communicate to the other person about your emotionality, but you may not be knowing. Even slight emotions that children will pick up. Small children always look at the straight at the face of the mother, and they learn by looking at the face of the mother. The mother may be saying many things, but they learn different. They learn the movement of the muscles because children are considered the best psychologists available. So this theory is telling us the more and more you know about yourself, your own life will change for better. So when you go to mirror, look at the mirror and make an evaluation. What type of a person is this? Will mother-in-law looking at the face will like you? That face will tell. And with this face, if you go to her, the fight will start because it is written on the face. So if your face is being evaluated properly, you will get a lot of information about your own personality. That is what transaction analysis gives the message. So all these behavioral points, a person behaves 5 ways mean there are 5 types of behavior, facial expressions. Quite common. Actually, it is 6. Major types are 5. Even your tone of voice with which you communicate to the husband, to the children, people around, it changes based on your ego states. But at the same time, the person who communicates will not be aware of it. Many times the other person will start fighting only because of the tonality, not because of the meaning what you say. So many times husband and wife relationship are getting spoiled only because they are not aware of their self. What is that they are communicating? And we looking at one of the face here. I was thinking about Mother Mary had a face when his son was killed and the dead body was on her lap. You can imagine what type of a face is there on that mother. There are many women simply carry that sort of face with them. And the husband comes home in the evening tired, puts the calling bell, and the wife opens the door. And what is the face there? What is the face available there? Ready to cry. What peace of mind will be there in the family? Even without opening the mouth, the husband and wife will start fighting, and that they will change to that mode. But they are not aware of it because they do not know. So that is what transaction analysis says. These are certain basic lessons about human being. What type of a person are you? What are you communicating by that? The way you talk, the way your face expression, the way you stand, your posture. If you are a confident person, your posture will be accordingly. If you are a doubtful person, your posture will be accordingly. So in an organization, if you are a failure, there is a reason behind it. So all these things are possible to be explained to the person in the sense what is self. So once you understand that what is self, transaction analysis will tell you what sort of changes you can introduce in your life. So this is simply a structural explanation or functional explanation. What type of changes you need to introduce so that you can mingle with people well. So most of the people fail in their life not because God has decided to fail. So it's not actually a fate. That is the destiny, according to transaction analysis, written by each person in their own childhood. Based on that destiny, they acquire a facial expression also. At the age of, by the age of 6, people reach to that such a stage. And your life failure is because of your early childhood decisions. So the more and more you know about self, the entire success or failure of your life itself is decided by the age of 6, by yourself. That is the meaning of self in transaction analysis. Self means you have decided whether you want to be a peaceful person or you want to be a loner. You have to end up in divorce, or even without divorce, live as separate individuals in the same family, the same house, or in old age become a lonely person. All these things, decisions according to this theory, has taken in early childhood itself. That's part of myself. The more and more I make analysis assessment in transaction analysis, we call it script analysis. Script means the earliest childhood decisions based on the emotional experience the child had, his relation with their mother and father. They takes a decision in early childhood. That's an emotional decision making. which will continue in our life until we change, until our death. So some people gets an opportunity and they change their life and they become successful in their life. But many people without awareness, they end up like that. A life which could have been made happy, a life which could have been made successful, without awareness, they spoil their life. That is the connection which I was trying to introduce by saying transaction analysis for self-awareness. So the more and more this theory is for personal change, personal growth, not to change people around you. But if you are a counselor, if you are a therapist, okay, there it is useful. Making use of this thing, you can help people to change. Or if you are a manager, making use of this theory, you can work better for the organization. You can relate better with the customer. That some of the customers will not leave you only because you have a style of relationship. So that message it is being given to make a change into the formation of yourself. Because yourself decides your failure or your success. And it has been started from early age. 0 to 6, that is what Dr. Byrne gives the importance, based on the development of the internal brain. So then brain development is one of the reasons for it. And after that, the child will start socializing with others, and many times they reinforce some of the early learnings. That is part of myself. So even the tonality can be deciding your failure or success in life, because that is part of the decision of the child, which can be changed. Your facial expressions can be changed. So a lot of change can be introduced in our life and become successful in our life only through self-awareness. Know about yourself. Whenever you learn transaction analysis books, apply to yourself. See why this is happening. What is the reason behind it? So the more and more you read the theory, change is happening to the person who is doing it. Or you should have a separate purpose or reason for learning this theory. As I said, professionals are told there is a purpose behind it. Otherwise, transaction analysis focus on personal change. So the international definition, ITAA, there is an organization in United States that net you will get the definition also, which focuses on, it's a personality theory for personal growth and personal change. That is the way they are giving the definition for it. So those who are interested to make changes in their life, changes in their relationship pattern, achieve success in their life, this is a sure theory. Definitely, I went through many theories in psychology, but such simple theory to apply and practice in life, you will not get elsewhere. And it is simple, and that is why Dr. Byrne said layman's psychology. Ordinary people who have not gone for learning psychology in the universities, you will understand why do you behave the way you are doing now. Once you learn that, it's quite possible for you to relate with others. So your relationship patterns will change. When the tonality of the husband changes, the wife will understand what is the reason behind it. When the facial expression of the husband changes, the wife will understand what's happening. There is no scope for fighting within such circumstances. Children, it's an excellent theory for child rearing, because each child, based on the transaction analysis theory, their facial expressions will change, their tonality will change. Looking at that, it's quite easy for the mother to guess what's happening to her son. So the way how to relate with the children, easily it is possible to decide. So knowing human beings, that is one of the major reason or requirement how to make good relationship with others. So human relations can be made warmer by introducing transaction analysis, because you know about the psyche of the person. If he shouts, you know from where the shouting is coming and what is the reason behind it. If you want, you can also shout. If you don't want, you can keep quiet also. So at least you can take care of your health and don't make fighting with the person. Which, according to Bond, there is another book, Games People Play, where he says, how do we make opportunities to fight with people and end our life in a sad way? So sadness become their dominant nature, or even it can end up in suicide, murder, etc., through playing certain psychological games. With only reason is that you do not know what is the other person is intending. When the tonality is changed, you do not know what's happening. You also become part of that. then you end up in a game. So both of them end up in a game and they get negative feelings. Emotionality increases. And that emotionality, when go to such a height, even committing suicide is possible, or killing the other person is possible. To that extent, it can go, or it can end up in madness also. So all these negative endings are because we cannot understand human beings around us. Why they are talking like that? Why their face is showing like that? What is actually irritating me? In many families, this after marriage, son's marriage, the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law start fighting. It's an international game. Dr. Eric Berne called it courtroom. It's a game, psychological game. Only because the mother-in-law's face is generating certain negative feelings in the mind of the daughter-in-law, which she does not know, might be related to her own early childhood. Some people having some sort of a tone or face might have intimidated her, and now she does not know her. Her mother will ask what happened. I don't want to look at her face because that face is not so conducive for the girl to relate only because of the childhood issues. Know about you. Again and again, what transaction analysis says, if you have such issues, look into yourself. That's the problem with the formation of yourself. There are certain reasons behind it from early childhood. The more and more your prefrontal cortex apply the theory behind it, the facts behind it, it's quite possible you will get the answer for it. And we don't want anybody's help, no psychologist, no therapist, but you will change because that is the way God has created us. That is the power of the prefrontal cortex. We have an orbitocortex just beneath the beneath the forehead, which is capable of changing our emotional styles. We can adjust all emotions with that part of the brain, but we can make use of it if you know about it. If you do not know about it, we are leading a blind life, and that is the meaning. Transaction analysis helps you to develop a new operating system for your brain. When that operating system is being applied, changes will happen in your life. That changes will help you to become successful in your life also. Somebody has asked a question. Can someone please type yes? Point discuss wise. Oh, somebody was asking whether you can take notes on that. So, finally, the advantage of knowing about the self is you can become successful in your life as a professional, as a business person, or as a party to a relationships can become successful. That is what relation is more emphasized even in transaction analysis rather than making money, etc. This is the theory of transaction analysis. I mean relationship. That is the meaning of transactional analysis. How do you relate? That is the meaning of the TA word itself. How do you relate? The purpose is that to create good human relations by knowing about you. Why do you behave the way you do now? That also it can be made use of to become successful in your life also as a professional or as a uh, relational part, husband, wife, etc. That life also can be made successful simply by knowing about you because you don't have to change the other person. The other person can behave as he or she likes, but you have the freedom to regulate your emotion, you regulate your behavioral styles. That's because by knowing yourself, you know how you are going to relate. That is the advantage of the transaction analysis. Without insisting the other person to change, you can lead a warm relationship in yourself, whether in the office or in the house, wherever you are. Without changing the children, you can change because you know about yourself. A person who is aware about the self can make wonders in life. That is what Socrates was trying to convince the Greek people. That's what Plato was trying. The temple of Apollo, it is written there in Greece. The one of the most important quoting there, know thyself. So thousands of years ago, people realized that one of the most important requirement for a human being is that you should know about yourself, which means how your mind is formed. Why do you behave the way you do? why you have become an emotional person, how you have become an anger dominant person. There is a reason behind it, and if you want, you can change. And that is what transactional analysis is offering. Now, I think I can give time for questions.
Yes, sir.
Vijay,
Thank you very much for the wonderful
is it
session.
time for question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
No.
sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Unmute and ask. Any question?
Hello, I am Dinakar Rao from Hyderabad. Are you in a position to hear me? Hello, are you in a position to hear?
No.
No, am I audible?
You can unmute them. If they want, they can ask. Can you hear me?
Yes, I
No.
can hear you.
Can you hear?
Hear me? Can you hear me? No.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we
So,
can hear you.
if you want to ask something,
No, I
I'll
would
reply
like
for
to
that.
express only. I am very happy the way you explain the things.
I thought Vijaya has to unmute you, or you can unmute yourself.
Sir, he is talking, but it is not clear.
Okay.
Sir,
Sure.
you have to be bit loud. It is not
Hello.
audible.
Not audible?
Sir,
No.
you are audible, sir. The gentleman from Hyderabad is not audible.
Nisha, is it audible?
Yes, sir. Very much audible.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Dinakar Rao, sir, wanted to talk something. He is
Pardon?
not audible. Dinakar Rao, sir.
Dinakar said it.
Yeah.
What about others? Any question?
You may type in chat box. If
Sir,
you are not able to.
Sir Deepa here, sir. I have a question.
Yeah, right.
Sir Deepa here. I have a question, sir.
Yes, Deepa.
Sir, facial expressions can be faked.
If you want, you can. That is what actors do.
Yeah. So then, how would we get? How would we come to a conclusion when we say through facial gestures we can understand what the person is going through? But if somebody can fake it, there was one professor in Harvard. Her name is Professor Amy Cuddy, and she talks about you fake it until you make it. So she says that as body language influences our life, so you can have such body languages, and you can change yourself. So then how to find out, sir, in that case, if somebody is faking it?
First start looking at the eyes.
Okay.
The muscles around the orifice mouth means labial muscles you can fake. Sadness you can show, smile you can show. That is easier. But along with that, muscles around the eyes also will move. That is why when you are genuinely laughing, sometimes tears will come out. Because
Yes, sir.
those muscles are shrinking at that time. While faking, that is not possible. That is why actors, for making tears, they use glycerin. They cannot fake tears.
Yeah.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So,
Thank you so much,
all
sir.
the facial muscles, all the three orifices, the muscles supporting these orifices are helping us to show the emotions, of which eyes are more clear. That is why people say, look at the eyes. Look at the eyes and talk, which means you get a lot of meaning when you look at the eyes and talk.
Yeah.
Yes. So, any other questions?
Anyone having may type in the chat box if you are not unable
It's
to
not there.
talk.
Nothing is there.
Sir, I want to ask one question.
Yes.
Sir, how can we learn this technique, TA?
Transaction analysis.
Yeah.
As per the international system followed by the groups in India also, there is a 12-hour basic course. 12 hours. Only basics will be taught by that time. Thereafter, you can join for the advanced course also. So advanced courses are around 300 hours in 2 years. First year, there is a diploma for transactional, the advanced TA. Then they
Okay.
go for a certificate course. So it's a 2-year course, advanced course. Then there is a script analysis workshop. It's again 12 hours, where your script can be analyzed. What is your earliest childhood decisions and what is the pattern now you follow? For that, we make use of psychometric tools.
Okay. Right.
Then there are books. If you are interested, after that you can use books also. International books are available in Amazon. Some
Okay.
of these books are there in the Indian bookstores also.
Okay.
Okay. Or contact me. That is the last chance. Because I teach these groups.
Okay. Okay. So is it online or we have to go to some place to learn it?
Earlier, until about last month, most of these courses were actually taking place in different centers. I have a
Okay.
group in Mumbai, so every month I go to Mumbai and have the sessions there.
Okay.
We have one person in Hyderabad also, Badrinath. He is conducting a group there. In
Okay.
Pune, we have a John. He also conducts groups there. In Kerala, we have 3-4 people regularly conduct training programs. Now, ICTA took a decision to have online advance also. So,
Okay.
sitting at your place, you can learn TA now.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Welcome. And the life history person, Vijay is familiar to that. She had this basic course in ICTA itself.
One question I am having. Now am
Yeah,
I
yeah, please.
audible?
Well, sound is less, but you ask, let me see.
Now it is okay?
A bit more.
Okay. I would like to ask you only one question.
Ah,
IATA, International Transaction Analysis Association, and ICTA,
yeah.
you are not much recognizing the work of Thomas Harris and Amy Harris. What is the reason? I am
Yeah.
okay, you are okay, staying okay books.
Yeah.
Can you tell me broadly what is the reason?
Reason is life positions are called I'm okay, you are okay. There are 4 positions. One of the basic philosophical distinction between these two theories are Thomas Harris says every child is born as an I am not okay person. Transactionalists, Rick Byrne believes that every child is born as an okay person.
As a prince.
As a prince. So because that difference, Thomas Harris books are not referred as TA study groups.
Including Amy Harris.
Yeah, Thomas Harris and his wife, they have written books, but that's not recognized for TA advanced studies.
Okay, thank you.
At the same time, that book gave a lot of publicity to transaction analysis. That is
yes, that is the most important.
Yeah.
Both Staying Okay by Amy Harris and I Am Okay by they have given a lot of popularity to the concept.
Only because of the philosophical difference between the two people.
Thank you.
Mr. Sebastian, you are conducting courses yourself? I am Ravi.
Yeah, Ravi, I am conducting programs.
From Cochin or
from
Hyderabad?
From 92 onwards, I have advanced groups also.
Okay, from Hyderabad, you are based at Hyderabad.
Based at Cochin.
Cochin.
You belongs to?
Yeah, I am from Kerala. I am presently at Trivandrum.
My center is Cochin, near to ICTA.
Mr. Sebastian, can I have a word with you?
Yeah, of course.
I'm Jagannathan, Bangalore. Just like one participant said, Dorothy Jongeward wrote the famous book, Born to Win, along with another author. Similarly, Choosing Success, Dorothy Jongeward has written a book along with Sayer. Excellent exposition, much easily readable than I Am Okay, You're Okay.
Yeah,
But that author is totally ignored. And even the publisher, the famous publisher Wiley, when you put the number of the book, it says no records. And nobody is quoting Jungeward, though it's a very excellent with case studies and whatnot, easily readable, seamless understanding. Any idea why certain authors are ignored?
Not certain authors, Jagannathan sir, those two authors are writing about Gestalt theory, not transaction analysis.
I see.
In the beginning, this Gestalt practices were followed by TA people also. So the original author is Muriel James and Dorothy Jungeward.
Correct.
Muriel James actually came to Kerala and put stone for ICT also.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's the background. So ICT also was following these Gestalt techniques in the beginning.
Now they've shifted to
She gave training.
International. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, first when I went to ICTA and met Father Kanditil, I felt happy to see the board there, building inaugurated by Muriel James.
Yeah, right.
I touched it and I felt thrilled.
Yeah, he was a student of Muriel James also. That is the reason behind it. Any other question?
Sir, we have one in chat box, sir. This is from Welcome.
Which one? Well, someone is not interested to look at you, but you want to make a point clear that how can that person see the intensity of my issue, and that person is only rejecting many utterance of my words. So this question by, I don't know who wrote it. Okay, the question is how to attract the attention of the other person to make clear about my issues if that person is not caring about it. In transaction analysis, we have 3 ego states: parent, adult, and child. So what we do is that making an assessment about the person's ego state. What ego state is that? Then we change ego state and respond. When ego state is changed, the other person also will be forced to make a change. So I don't know who wrote that question.
His name is Kalyan, sir.
Pardon?
He's Kalyan, he has written.
Yeah. If that person is not aware of the transaction analysis basis, my answer will not be clear to him. Because human mind works in 3 ways based on the energy system. So in transaction analysis, that said there are 3 stages: parent, adult, and child. So at one point, only one ego state will be functional. In that ego state, if the other person is not reacting to this person, then he has to change ego state. That is what in many families take place. When the husband is not responding properly to the wife starts crying. Suddenly the husband changes. The wife goes to the child mode and expresses the tears when the person changes. Am I clear? Otherwise, some people shout. That is again another ego state through which you make a sudden change of the situation. So a jerk happens to the other person, he also changes the ego state. Means the state of the mind changes. And those techniques you can learn in transaction analysis. Normally we are doing it, but within the background of the theory, you will come to know how you can change the ego state of the other person. Did I answer? Vijay, you ask him.
Yes, sir.
Whether he could follow it up.
Yes. So anyone having any other questions may either ask directly or can type in the chat box.
You can ask directly now. But waste that time. Anybody?
Any questions regarding the application of transactional analysis or anything? Yeah, it is available in Life History's Facebook page. Someone is asking for the live recording. I mean, the recording. So you can visit the Life History's Facebook page, as well as we have a YouTube channel for Life History. So the recordings are available there, even the previous webinars recordings, you may visit.
Tell me something about your life history, the skill of whatever it is.
Okay.
First time I'm hearing about that.
Okay, so the life history is about promoting the skills. We are into yoga, music. We are also into astrology and counseling, and we are also into training. Basically, we believe any skill will ease one's life and makes one's life better. So, we were in Cochin. Right now, we are based in Hyderabad, and we are.
Hyderabad address, can you tell?
We are in Nizampet.
Okay.
You can, you can check our website, lifehistory.com.
Okay.
So, yeah, we have the previous programs and the address as well in that. And we do online classes, and we do workshops and webinars on this.
Basically, you are not TA people. TA is a part of your programs.
Yeah, we use TA as one of the tools in this counseling, and have done my TA basics, and I would wish to pursue further because it's a wonderful topic in psychology, which really, as the sir told, that it really helps us in self-awareness. Thank you very much, sir, for the wonderful session. I hope everyone has taken out something from the webinar related to transactional analysis and how it helps in one's life. Also, many points in self-awareness we have quoted today. Thank you very much, and we look forward for more sessions from you, sir. Anthony, sir.
1 second.
Yeah.
If you don't mind.
Yep.
I'm 75 years old.
Good to know that, sir.
Okay, Mr. Sebastian.
Yes.
I'm very happy the way you explain TA in ordinary common language without using much technical jargon. That really, even a 10 to 12 years kid or 8 years kid, as you said, Eric Burns said, by 7 years or 8 years, personality is formed. And you have explained in such a way, even a small kid can understand. Hats off to you, because I'm attending the TA programs. I was trained by Dr. Jaswant Singh next to Father Kandathil. I've attended Kandathil, I have attended some programs, but your way of presenting is very simple, easily understandable. Hats off to you, though I'm not having hat. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
On behalf of all the participants, if life history permits me, I would like to propose a vote of thanks and say you're an excellent, lovable speaker.
Thank you.
Thank you for your feedback, sir. And
thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
This is Jagdish here. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you got to understand.
Thank you.
Sir, Deepa.
Yes, Deepa.
Thank you so much. It was a very lovely listening to you every time, sir. You're great. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. You are just super, sir. I have to say, very, very well, beautifully explained all, in simplistic way. It was really beautiful to listen to you, sir.
Welcome.
And I thank Madam also for organizing this. Thank you so much.
Welcome. And we had sent a link for the feedback form. Kindly fill the feedback form and help us to improve and do further programs in a better way. And also, those who are interested in availing our services may log into www.lifehistory.com for yoga, astrology, psychology, counseling, and training programs. We also have upcoming training programs, and we'll be announcing in the website soon. Thank you all for attending and lovely feedback, all of you. I could see many in chat box, sir. And it was really nice of you and kind of you to accepting to talk in the webinar. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you all for attending. And we look forward. We are conducting a webinar series every Sunday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. So you may log in to Life History, www.lifehistory.com for further webinars and programs. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Okay. So, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.